Hello everybody. I just would like to talk about the Waterslager song training process. Um, I searched for videos on YouTube and couldn't find anything, so I just wanted to come up with something for the record. This is the first time I'm coming up with something like that. First of all, this is my small aviary where I have my birds and pretty much all my supplies. But I'd like to talk about the story about the Waterslager Canary song training, and this is all about the feedback I've been receiving from my mentors. I just thought we need to have a video about that. So first things first, when you have the babies, you want to make sure that you separate them as much as possible. It's not easy to determine the gender yet, but you try your best. So the one on the right cage here, that's my young male flight cage. I try to put the males together, young males, and then here at the bottom, it is the flight cage for my young females. So the advantage of having the young males together is actually they develop their song together, their competitions, their races. Just imagine your, childhood. You prefer to play together mostly with the same gender friends, and then that helps you develop certain skills in that direction. So these birds are mostly young males. I was not able to 100% verify that all of them are males, but majority are. As a result, they all were singing together, fighting together, chasing together, and then growing together as young males. Now, here you're gonna see the other young males I have. These were all in that flight cage together, and what happened was, when their songs matured, they started to actually use their song and actually other skills to fight with the other young males, which is how I was able to tell that it was time to separate them from that larger flight cage. When I did it, I initially actually took them into larger breeding cages, and then I used one whole breeding cage for one male bird, young male bird. And then eventually, when the others caught up, I actually put the separator, and then the room got smaller, as you can tell, but it's still large enough, larger than the training cage, which is on the top. And then this way, the process of separation from the flight cage ended up being a gradual process. So again, this is a young male flight cage. They actually train themselves, they get their mentor training them, and then eventually their hormones hit the certain level and they started to fighting with each other. When they were fighting with each other, again, that's the sign. It is time to actually separate them. Their songs are mature, hormones are up there, and now, rather than chasing each other, actually pulling each other's feathers and everything else, they should be competing and even fighting through their songs only, without seeing each other, without touching each other. So this separation makes it perfectly fine that all the males are actually now using their songs when they are trying to define and protect their territories from other males. See this one here at the bottom? I recently separated this one from the flight cage, and it's the whole breeding cage. I didn't put the divider, and then there's no other male with him. And as a result, he's getting used to coming from a larger space to a smaller space. Eventually it's going to get much smaller when they come to these song training cages. So one of the feedback and recommendations I received from my mentors is that the gradual the process, the better, because this way there's less stress on the birds, and then they adapt better, and eventually when you start reducing the light, they will be able to actually develop their songs much better. Currently, none of the young males in this room are trained. They are still actually developing their songs, but I just wanted to talk about the initial setup you need to have in order to actually have that gradual transition take place with your birds. Now, one important feedback that I would like to discuss with everybody else is that this particular product, ronidazole, I'm using it actually before the training. I used it maybe like a month ago. I'm gonna use it one more time. It is great to actually fight with the parasite called canker that lives in their vocal cord area, vocal box area, which actually reduces the quality of the song. So you need to make sure that you get rid of that parasite, and then it's not 100% your birds may have it, but chances are high that they have it, because you can't even tell whether they have them or not, as they don't have any negative impact their overall health situation. Health condition is fine, so it's very hard to tell that they really have it. However, you don't want to take a chance. You want the best songs possible, and as a result, you want to eliminate all the negative factors around them. So this is my short video about today's Waterslager Canary song training session tips. The next phases I will go into, I will be able to actually come up with more videos. And this is my cage for my mentor. He's in the flight cage right now, and I'm going to separate him when the lights go down. And then we're going to see how their songs will vary. Now, I'll be very interested in comparing their songs now. As you can tell, they're a little bit louder, they're a little bit faster. And then by the end of the training, I'm hoping that we're gonna hear more softer tones, more slower melodies, and then they'll be ready for a smooth, therapeutic song development process for the hobby lovers. Thank you. Have a good one.